welcome to week 11 of Eric Athletics Wellness Challenges. I can't believe it's been 11 weeks already. This week we're going to change things up a little bit and do a short video on getting ready for sleep. So we've gone over the last 11 weeks a lot of different things, from nutritional information. Last week we were talking about eating, like slowing down your eating. We've gone over breathing, we've gone over movements that you can start doing throughout the day. We've gone over going and putting yourself to bed early, but we didn't go over the steps on preparing or a nightly routine that you can put together to get you prepared to go to sleep. So we're going to show you a couple simple tools on what I do to help myself go to sleep and sleep better. So I'm lucky because I have all these different toys that I can play with when it comes to soft tissue rolling. I like to do it, obviously we do this before workouts, but it's great to do at the end of the day because it helps down regulate any tone or tension that you have in your body. And primarily I like to stick with my larger muscle groups and my feet. So obviously my feet aren't a large muscle group, but the big muscle group, so I like to look at my torso. I oftentimes use a medicine ball or one of these harder supernova balls, but you don't have to have these tools to make a lasting change to get you ready to go to sleep. So I like to do kind of gut smashing. So that's where I'm just laying on the ball, and I use it not only to detone my tissue, but to work on my breathing. And we've talked about this a lot post-workout on kind of down-regulating yourself, getting yourself out of that sympathetic tone that we put you in for working out and slipping you back into that parasympathetic tone, that rest and digest. And so here, as I'm working on making myself a bit uncomfortable by laying on this ball, I'm working my 4-second inhalation, my 8-second exhalation with that pausing in between, and just slowly working through my tissue and seeing if I have any built up tension in areas. Because if I have that built up tension and I'm going to go to sleep with it, well, chances are I'm not going to sleep very well and nor recover very well. So gut smashing, really simple, easy thing to do. I can use this ball obviously through my thighs as well, especially if you've been either on your feet, standing in one place like I do all day long now on Zoom calls. My hip flexors and my quads actually have been getting tighter as if I've been sitting in a chair. So I work on, rolling through my thighs. Oftentimes I use a little smaller object or a foam roller to go through all that quad tissue. Again, I'm not trying to facilitate, a pre-workout kind of checks and balance system here. I'm just going like, man, do I find an area that's a little bit tight and I work into a little bit. I'm not trying to work up a sweat or make myself super uncomfortable. I'm just trying to get that tissue to chill out, so when I sleep, it's repairing itself in a much better state. So using that through thighs, back of the thighs, going into the calves. I like to use lacrosse ball, golf ball on my feet. I'll do that seated, standing. Ideally, I'm not going to be watching television or on a computer at this time because I'm trying to down-regulate my brain. So this is where, reading a book as you do this. I oftentimes actually will even use, like in my nightstand, I actually have a couple really smooth rocks, and sometimes I'll use that on my forearms or my feet before I go to bed. And I'm notoriously really slow at reading certain books, and I'll read a couple pages and I can fall right to sleep. Another easy way of hitting kind of your bigger tissues is using your foam roller. A great one that I like to do at the end of the evening is lay back on it and just work on opening up my arms, and again working that deep breathing pattern. There isn't any set protocol that you have to do here. You're just, again, searching around, do I have some areas that have some tension? And by me just hanging out and breathing and moving a little bit, does it downgrade that tension? So again, I optimize my sleep better. Even doing gentle rotations. So say my neck felt really stiff that day, instead of sitting there and trying to crank on it, which is going to only increase the tone in that area, just doing gentle rotations, taking actively your body through these ranges of motion, just like we do with that morning routine. Again, if you go to bed with a stiff neck and you're expecting it to go away when you wake up, you're expecting a small miracle, okay? Or a large miracle, depending on how stiff it was. So again, the idea here with all these wellness challenges is, are we creating a habitual change or starting to influence a little bit of a change? From preparing yourself for kind of a sleep routine, your brain likes repetition, and all of a sudden, okay, you start laying on a ball, you're breathing deeply, oh, that means it's going to be time to go to sleep, as opposed to just, rushing around, getting everything done. Oh, it's 10:30, it's time to go to sleep. Well, I may be asleep for a couple hours and then wake up because I didn't prepare myself very well for that. And then so my sleep quality is not that great. So this week, work on creating a little bit of a pattern prior to you going to sleep. That's your wellness challenge for the week.